Hey friends, welcome back to the Burn Stress Lose Weight podcast. I am out today, so if the sound quality is not its usual, if you hear the occasional airplane, bird, or moving vehicle, then that's why. If you're watching on video, then you can see me out and about in the neighborhood, because one of my goals for this year was just to get outside more. Yes, to walk more and to move my body, but one of the biggest things that I really want to do is just get outside more. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we are living behind a computer screen, whether you are seeing patients or whether you have clients. We are just living in this digital world on our phones, on our laptops, and sometimes we forget about real life outside of the computer screen. So that is what is bringing me out today. And also, I really wanted to record this podcast episode because I got bit by the inspiration bug. And of course, whenever I get inspired, that is when I want to jump on and record the episode. Today's podcast episode is how to maximize the impact of your effort. And let me just share, there's two actual separate stories with how this entire idea came about and why I wanted to bring it to you today on the podcast. So story number one, I was recently working on a business project that was going completely sideways. And when I say sideways, I mean we were falling flat on our face. And I was talking to my coach about this because I was getting the spidey sense that it was falling flat, it was going sideways, it was just not working. And I noticed myself sticking my head in the sand a little bit. I had some thoughts like, maybe this will get better on its own if I just give it some more time. Maybe it will magically get back on track. I don't know exactly what to do to turn this around. So I stuck my head in the sand and was finally bringing this to my coach to work through. And she asked me, why did you not start troubleshooting this when you first got the sense that you were going awry? Like the moment that you realized that this was not working, that you weren't getting the results you wanted, that this was going sideways, why did you not troubleshoot in that moment? And I had a lot of excuses. I had a lot of justifications that were very compelling, as we do. We have lots of 3C stories, convincing, compelling, and very convenient for why we stick our head in the sand, why we don't take action in the moment that we know we could. Why do smart overachievers ever do this? So first I started giving her all of my reasons, as we do. I gave her all of my very justified reasons. And as she started asking me questions, because that's what coaching is, she basically was showing me by poking holes in all of the stories that I had, all of the excuses that I had. She wanted to drill down to the root reason that I hid from turning around this project and why I did not troubleshoot. And here's what it came down to. She kept coming back like, well, why did you not troubleshoot? And finally, this is where I came to. I said to her, I didn't want to waste my effort. I got to the place where I didn't know exactly how to troubleshoot. I didn't know what to do to turn around this project that was going sideways. I didn't know what to do. So overachievers hate confusion. Hello, I'm raising my hand with you. We hate feeling confused. We hate feeling behind. We hate feeling inadequate. Because I felt some confusion around how to turn my project around, I told myself the story that I don't want to waste my effort. Like, what if I try? What if I do some research? What if I put forth an effort, and what if it doesn't work? And that's a story that we tell ourselves. It's not a fact. It's a story. It's a very dramatic story. And it's a very convenient way to just keep your results, not change a thing, and basically keep repeating the results that you have again and again and again. I've seen this come up with weight loss. I've seen this come up in careers, in relationships. It's like, well, if my effort doesn't work, then like, why bother trying? Because overachievers, especially professional women, are overextended. Our time, our energy, and our bandwidth is the most expensive item that you own, and we don't want to waste it, right? We don't want to waste it. So again, this is story number one. I have another story about this. What happens when we are unwilling to do the work, when we're unwilling to put forth the effort and see if it's going to work? We guarantee failure. I guaranteed myself failure in this project going sideways because I was so scared about wasting my time, my energy, and my effort. My fear, it was just a feeling that I had because of a story I was telling myself. Because I was so afraid of wasting time, effort, and energy, I took my foot off the gas. I put my head in the sand, I crossed my fingers, and I was just hoping that it would turn itself around. Now, the trouble with this is with any result. It is particularly true with you achieving your body goal this year. Loosey-goosey, winging it plans will not work. It will not magically turn itself around. The second story, I was talking to a really good friend of mine who wants to lose some weight. She's interested in body recomposition. She wants to build some muscle. She wants to burn fat. And she was telling me that year after year, she has this dream for herself of wanting to feel better. And she means it with all of her heart at the beginning of the year. But what she notices coming up year after year is that same sentence. What if I put forth this effort? And what if I try my best? And what if it doesn't work? Because it hasn't worked year after year. I've tried all these things and it hasn't worked. What if it doesn't work this time? And it's that, again, it's the same sentence. It's the same flavor of a story that makes the smartest overachiever not actually try. In my experience now, both personally and coaching overachieving professional women, there are reasons that we will ever hold on to the story that we don't want to waste our effort if it's not going to work. Reason number one is because your brain is trying to protect you from punishment. If you have overworked a strategy, if you are used to overworking and overhustling, over-restricting, having really punishing weight loss plans and strategies in the past, this is a really smart, actually, way that your brain is like, we don't want to do punishment again. We don't want to do overworking again. So let's not even start. Let's not even try because it's going to be punishing. So we have to really acknowledge that. We have to catch that with so much compassion. If you've had overworking, overhustling, or over-restriction in the past, there's a reason that you will stick your head in the sand when it comes to putting in the effort. Reason number two is you're not able to catch, as most of us are not, your subconscious patterns and the thoughts you're having about your effort. I'm a coach. I coach on this topic all the time. And yet I couldn't see it for myself because I am in my own head, living my own life. I needed to have my coach really point out to me by asking me questions, by coaching me in the very uncomfortable and very vulnerable moment where my project was going sideways. I had to show up. I had to raise my hand, and she had to ask me some questions that led me to the realization that I had this very, very strong, compelling story that was holding me back from turning the ship around. And if I don't turn the ship around, friends, if you don't turn the ship around, no one can turn it around for us. Here's the real cost of keeping the story about your effort working or not working. We end up spending so much more effort, so much more time, and so much more energy staying stuck. And this is the piece of the entire process that I want to highlight for my community. It is a mission that I'm on, and I have to do the work. I want all of you to choose this work as well. We have to catch the stories that are keeping us stuck. This idea that we don't want to waste our time, our energy, and our effort because we're scared of it working is the reason that it doesn't work. What ultimately happens when we keep this story around being afraid of putting in the effort because we're scared of not having future success or lasting success is we get stuck in putting out fires day to day. We get stuck in today problems in perpetuity. And this is what I call the golden problem. A golden problem is a pain point, a friction point, or a drag that you're experiencing day to day or week to week that makes achieving your weight loss goal really hard, feel like an uphill battle or impossible. The trouble for most of us is because we get scared of leaning in all the way, of putting in all the effort, of expending the energy and the time at the start, we get so scared of that we get stuck in putting out fires all the time. This is why I have been talking so much for the past few weeks about having weight loss systems that create freedom in your life. When I say freedom, what I mean is freedom from confusion, freedom from second guessing, freedom from overthinking. When you have weight loss systems that guide you through how to make your nutrition decisions to get you to your weight loss goal and support your hormone health, when you have decisions around how you're going to guarantee yourself rest and fun without relying on food or alcohol, when you have systems in place that walk you through how to navigate the off-plan moment, you don't just get out of the day-to-day confusion, you create mental freedom because you're not going to be left wondering, how do I handle this? What am I doing right now? I don't know what to do. Weight loss systems, the way that I teach it to my clients inside Burn, Stress, Lose Weight, which is my group coaching program, is designed to take you out of the day-to-day problems that you're trying to solve, the day-to-day fires that you're trying to put out, and helps you solve your forever problems, helps you solve the long arc of what you're craving as a busy professional woman. And when you have systems that guide you through nutrition decisions, rest and play decisions, and how to handle the off-plan moment, you end up creating so much more energy, time, and bandwidth to experience your life rather than thinking about weight loss and thinking about how uncomfortable you are or wondering how to get back on plan when you went off track. You end up being able to actually experience your life. And to me, that is the most luxury item that we all have. If you've been following along, then you probably know that the Burn, Stress, Lose Weight group coaching program is currently open for enrollment. If you're listening to this in real time, we're about to kick off our January cohort next week. And I wanted to take this opportunity to talk to you about how I've crafted this group experience, the elements, the features, the nuts and bolts about the program that specifically addresses the pain points that overachieving professional women have. The very first thing, which I think we all need, is like a day zero jumping off point. You need to have decided. I call these magic action decisions. I've talked about these on the podcast before. Magic action decisions are how you build a system that fits your life. So I want to clarify what this means because I don't want this to just be jargon that sounds good. I really want to get into the details for how magic action decisions can completely change your life. Magic action decisions are decisions that you make once in advance that you have in your back pocket. So your brain is never left in fatigue around, should I eat this or should I eat that? Should I eat a little bit? Should I eat a lot? Am I eating at 11 a.m.? Am I eating at 1 p.m.? Are we intermittent fasting? Are we not? Are we eating 5,000 grams of protein or are we not? Magic action decisions are designed to help answer all of those open looped questions that your brain has and creates answers that fit your specific life, that take your schedule into account, that take your life into account, that takes your responsibilities as a mom, as a wife, as a daughter, as a sister, who you are in your community, takes your real life into account, and you make decisions that you can start plugging and putting into repeatable systems. And the reason that this is so valuable is when smart professional women get out of constantly making decisions, they claim back so much time. I think it's also really important to say here that the magic action decisions that we recommend inside Burn, Stress, Lose Weight are through a framework that I have put on my hat as a physician and scientist so that those decisions are supporting not just a number on the scale going down. We can all see the 3-digit number on the scale come down if you heavily restrict, eat less, move more. We want also your magic action decisions to support your energy, your metabolism, your hormone health, your mood. We want to actually have these decisions fit your life in a way that doesn't just get you weight loss, but also helps you feel better inside out. When you take these magic action decisions around your nutrition, around rest, play, around how you're going to handle the off-plan moment, and you start to plug it into a calendar and you make it repeatable. So every week you just take a look at your magic action decisions, you revisit some of your decisions, you make any tweaks that you might want to make. Now you have a system rather than the spaghetti on the wall approach or fresh start every Monday where you never ever build momentum. You have a jumping off point, so you have repeatable systems that actually create consistent results. This is why the very first feature that you unlock the moment that you join Burn, Stress, Lose Weight is our video curriculum that walks you through this process step by step. Now, I will say that our video curriculum is busting at the seams. It is very robust. I think about it like Netflix for weight loss. We have coached on thousands of obstacles for professional women. It's all weaved into that entire curriculum. The moment you join, you get a series of emails from me that guide you on exactly which video to start with, the few videos you need to make your magic action decisions so that you don't get lost, unless you want to get lost down a rabbit hole of amazing video content. We constrain your time so that you make magic action decisions within 48 hours of getting access to the program, and you can hit the ground running in losing weight in the next 7 days. The next part of Burn, Stress, Lose Weight is the mindset coaching. Just like I shared in the very first story, this is me even as a coach, and I'm very self-aware of the thoughts that I'm having that take me off track, that lead to all of my personal epic fails. Part of the work that I have done for myself is I have invested seriously in self-growth and coaching and challenging my mindset. And that's nearly impossible to do yourself, as I have tried to do. I needed to have my coach point out to me when things were going sideways. This is just real human life. You might have some unique obstacles or real challenges coming up for you, which is why having a coach in your corner that can help support you, that can show you, number one, your most limiting beliefs, show you the difference between where you're having a maybe dramatic story or a convincing justification and helps you overcome it, is the lighter fluid that takes a static, passive consumption video into real life results. I cannot tell you how many videos and webinars and PDFs I have just collecting dust in my email inbox that I had the best intention of watching and learning from, because we all love being students. We love learning. We love passive consumption. Even listening to this podcast, if you don't take what we're talking about here and take it and really act on it, I know it feels really good, but it's just, that's where it's left. It's left with good intentions and some inspiration. But coaching is what helps find your blind spots. This is one of those areas where we can talk all about the strategy and the specific decisions that's going to help you achieve your body goals this year. But when you actually put it into real life, you're going to hit real life obstacles. That's just the nature of being a busy professional woman. You're going to have obstacles come up around your time. Life is just going to life. Something is going to come up in your marriage, with your children, maybe with an aging parent. Something might take you off track. And this is where most overachievers are unaware, because that is how we are living. We have thousands of thoughts that sometimes drive us to take our foot off the gas. And just like my coach had to point out to me through a series of questions where she really questioned why I didn't troubleshoot when things were going off, and I had to have her walk me through it, just like that, we walk you through that process. When clients show up to the group, I meet them right where they are. It doesn't matter whether you have 5 pounds to lose or 50 pounds to lose. We pick up on your unique threads. When you show up week after week, we get to know you. We get to know your stories. We get to know your obstacles. And the more that you show up, raise your hand, get coached, take our process and plug it into your real life, not only will you start achieving massive wins on the scale, you start to trickle that success into other parts of your life. My clients tell me that they're not just losing weight and feeling better and have gotten completely out of overwhelm because they have a strategy and systems in place. They're changing their marriages. They're changing how they show up as moms. They're changing their relationship with their children. They're taking more courageous and bold action in their career. And this is not something you can just learn in a video, though there are videos on every single part of this process. There is something about you personally getting coached that changes you. It just changes you inside out, head to toe. And I want to put a little caveat here, because if you're someone that has maybe historically been shy, I know that that's been my story for a very, very long time. If you followed on the podcast, you know, I have always called myself an introvert, or someone that maybe is shy when she meets new people. That's very much how I used to be. And so it might feel kind of vulnerable to raise your hand in a group setting and to get coached. And also, once you actually join this group and you see the women that are here, these are other overachieving professional women just like you actually start to realize that you're not as alone as you thought you were. Inside the group, we have coaching live every single week on Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. And if you can't attend a call live, if you have to miss it for some reason, maybe you're traveling or have a work meeting that you couldn't change, you don't have to worry. We have call replays posted inside our portal within 24 hours. And you get access to a written coaching portal, which means if you're not able to attend live, or maybe you have a question or something you want to walk through, or you want some feedback on in between live coaching calls, maybe you're traveling or there's a date night or a girls' night that you want to walk through, we have a written coaching space that is off of social media where you can ask questions day to day in between live coaching calls, which to me is one of my favorite parts of this group. I really wanted to create an experience where you are not getting shoved into a program, but we can take an experience and customize it to suit you. The last big feature in this group, and there are so many secondary features that you can go and read about and learn about over at burnstressloseweight.com/group. But I really wanted to highlight the third feature, which is community. Now, the way that I have crafted this group, I think of personally as the best mix of personal mentorship in a group setting, which means you're not one of many. You don't have to reintroduce yourself. We're not trying to figure out who you are. When you show up, we get to know your thoughts, your patterns, some of your obstacles. And so we get to pick up and coach you with personal mentorship. But the other benefit of a group coaching experience is you get to learn from the obstacles in the coaching of other very smart women. And I cannot tell you how often I have had clients tell me, I didn't even know to get coached on that topic, but that was exactly what I needed to hear. The mix of coaching, curriculum, and community over a 6-month period allows you to experience a level of support that you deserve, a level of support that your goal deserves. If you want to achieve wild success on the scale this year, and you don't want this to just be crossing your fingers, hope or wish that fizzles out by next month, I really encourage you to strongly consider joining us. This program is CME accredited, so if you are a medical professional, you can get CME units. You can use CME funds towards the investment in this program. And I'm so confident that this program will work for you, that this experience is a comprehensive solution to your desire to lose weight and feel better, that we have a money-back guarantee. When you show up to the process, when you show up to our coaching calls, when you get coached every week, when you do the work and walk through the process the way that we guide you to do, you will lose weight or you get your money back. If your health goals are your priority this year and you want to lose the weight once and for all, feel better inside out, show up in a way that changes your entire life, your family and your work, because you change when you hit this goal, when you pursue this goal seriously, it's not just about the weight loss. You end up changing. You become that person who finally solves this problem, and that changes you on the inside. If you want this, join me on a consult call this week. While spots are open, you can go and grab your consult call on my calendar over at www.burnstressloseweight.com/group. You can look at all the nuts, the bolts, the features, all the more detail that I maybe didn't describe on this podcast episode. But in a nutshell, I want to encourage you to make it work. Any goal worth having is worth working for. It's worth putting in that effort. And the only way to know for sure that this is going to work is for you to show up for it. So I really hope to see you on a consult call this week. We're starting next week. So don't wait. Head over to burnstressloseweight.com/group. You can get all the details. And if I haven't answered a question that you want answered, then send us an email, info@theunstoppablemombrain.com, or send me a DM over on Instagram. My handle is @burnstressloseweight. We can chat that way. My goal is to really find what your next power move is going to be this year so that you can claim your time back. That is what I want for all of us. I want you to claim your time back, no more overthinking or second guessing, and I want you to do it while feeling better. Part of why I call you my unstoppable friends, or I say bye to you and I refer to you as an unstoppable friend, is because when you get science and strategy back on your side and you start claiming the dreams and leaning in and putting in the effort and meeting your missteps and sideways projects with courage and bravery, you change who you are on the inside and you start to feel unstoppable. And that's what I want for all of us. So until next time, I hope to see you all in a consult call and in the January cohort. And I will see you all next week. Bye, friends. One lesson that I have learned over the years is when women feel better on the inside out, everyone around them gets to benefit. Your career, your family, you all get to claim the up level. So if today's podcast episode gave you a new way to think or maybe challenge an old perspective that you've had, take it with you the rest of this week. And if this podcast episode resonated with you, I would love it so much if you could leave us a rating and review and share this episode with a friend or in your local community. And if you know you want more support and structure in achieving your body goals this year, it might be time for us to work together. Head over to www.burnstressloseweight.com, where I have the latest resources and all of the information about how you can work with me. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and I will see you at